Another story you're not going to ever hear about. Welcome to another installment of Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms for your NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. But let's talk about this here. So, this June 9th, Gadsen, Alabama. There was a man at an elementary school there who was trying to get into the building. And he was noticed by teachers. Somebody saw him doing this, and he was approached by a school resource officer, and it ended up becoming a scuffle. And eventually the man was shot and killed, but the SRO, the school resource officer, was also injured. But let's bring this up. So I want to go ahead and play some video for you to give you some context. So here we go.
Had to deal with these situations in Uvalde and Sandy Hook several years ago. You never think it's going to happen in your school, and we're very blessed that the same situation didn't occur here.
Gadsden's Walnut Park Elementary School, the scene of a fatal officer-involved shooting this morning. It happened outside the school while children enrolled in summer programs were inside. Now, officers say the man killed had attempted to gain entrance to the school.
He never made it inside. He was shot by a Rainbow City police officer outside the school. The school, by the way, as you see here, is across the street from a neighborhood in the western part of Gadsden. ABC 3340's Aaron Wise is on the scene. Aaron, the children were there for summer programs. Did they know what was going on?
No, they didn't. The Gadsden City School Superintendent tells me that the 34 children who were inside this building earlier today had no idea what was unfolding out in front of the building. Dr. Tony Reddick says the children thought they were actually practicing the safety drills that they had learned throughout the week. Now, here's what we know about this incident. The Alabama Law Enforcement Agency is investigating the officer-involved shooting. Aaliyah says a man was trying to get into the school resource officer's patrol vehicle. When the officer attempted to stop him, the suspect went for the officer's gun. The SRO, who is a Rainbow City police officer, called for backup. Gadsden police responded. Ultimately, the suspect was shot and killed. The Gadsden City School Superintendent confirmed the suspect did try to get into that building.
As best I know, there's a potential intruder. Apparently, there was a gentleman who was, coming around to several doors trying to get inside the building. Our principal was alerted immediately. She ran around to make sure that all those buildings were secure, which they already were.
Etowah County Sheriff Jonathan Horton says a person driving through the area also noticed the person and called police.
They even recognized that there's something not right. And so when the call came in and they notified the school resource officer, he then came out of the school, engaged the subject in conversation, and apparently had a conversation with him for a few moments and tried to de-escalate the individual. And then he called for backup. And then when backup arrived, it continued until what we have here now.
Now, as for that suspect, he's been identified as Robert Tyler White. White is from North Carolina. At this time, it's not clear whether White had a weapon on him of some sort. Now, first at 5, you'll hear from the neighbor who lives right across the street from this school about what he saw today. Live in Gadsden, Aaron Wise, ABC 3340 News.
You heard that, you saw that. Now, let's go over here to this article here. This is from WSAW, local affiliate. Titled, Man Killed Outside Elementary School in Officer-Involved Shooting in Alabama, Sheriff Says. Gadsen, Alabama. A man was shot and killed in an officer-involved shooting outside an elementary school in Alabama on Thursday, according to the county sheriff. It happened around 10 a.m. at Walnut Park Elementary School in Gadsen. The summer literacy program for 34 children was being held there, the Associated Press reported. According to Gadsden City School Superintendent Tony Reddick, a man was seen approaching a door to the school and possibly attempting to gain access. After being notified, a school resource officer came outside and confronted the man. Authorities with the Alabama law enforcement agency said the suspect resisted and tried to take the SRO's firearm. According to the superintendent, police were called to the scene to assist. Etowah County Sheriff Jonathan Horton said there was a physical altercation involving the SRO and the suspect. The SRO sustained minor injuries. Several emergency agencies responded to the scene. Officials have not confirmed exactly what transpired after the police arrived or what led up to the man's death. Children were inside the building at the time for a summer education program, but officials say all of them are safe. The school was placed on a brief lockdown and children were bused to the local high school and parents were called to pick them up. People are being asked to avoid the area at this time. Okay, this is obviously as it was happening. Now, think about how differently this story would have been reported if this man had made it into the school, and whether they have not even talked about whether he had a weapon of his own, or they haven't even talked about why he was there. But imagine how differently the story would be reported. And Biden would be there 12 hours. So this is one story that was done right. The school was completely locked. The guy could not get into the school. The school resource officer confronted him, which then led to an altercation. Obviously, if the guy was there on some innocent manner, he would not have escalated into a fight. He was there for some reason, which unfortunately we may never know why he was there, but he was there and he was trying to get in. So after the altercation, it escalated and deadly force was used. So hopefully we'll get more about this story, but this one was done right. The school doors were locked and the SRO, or the school resource officer, encountered the person to question them while they were there, and unfortunately escalated into loss of life. But this one was done right, and this is, once again, this is a story you're not going to see. It'll disappear as quickly as possible because this does not fit the agenda. You know, as I did in a previous video, Chuck Schumer has been making quite a deal out of the fact that there were officers at Uvalde and none of them stopped him. Well, there was an officer here and he did. But as I said, this does not fit their agenda, so this story will disappear. But potentially lives are saved, and that you can always chalk that up to a positive. And I congratulate the SRO for doing his job. He stepped right in. And like I said, I'd like to see more information as to why this person was there, but it's not available at this time. But once again, it ended positively. Loss of life should not be considered a positive, but in this case, it was actually necessary, a necessary evil if you want, but it went down well. So let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below, and as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get notified the next time the video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.